The interconnectedness of justice and flourishing. Matthew 6 verse 33. Seek first God's reign and God's justice, and all these things will be given to you besides. In the ancient wisdom of Australia's forests lies a profound truth that echoes through creation and speaks to the heart of spiritual understanding. Within these complex ecosystems, every element exists in a dance of mutual dependence and support. The mighty eucalyptus trees, reaching skyward, depend on microscopic fungi threading through the soil beneath. These fungi, in their invisible work, create networks of communication and resource sharing that sustain entire forest communities. This intricate web of life reveals a fundamental truth about God's design for creation. Nothing exists in isolation. When soil microorganisms thrive, trees grow stronger. When trees flourish, they provide shelter and sustenance for countless species. When these species prosper, they contribute to the health and regeneration of the forest floor. It's a continuous cycle of giving and receiving, of mutual care and support, that reflects the divine wisdom embedded in creation. Consider how this natural wisdom illuminates the deeper meaning of seeking God's reign and justice. Just as a forest's health depends on the well-being of its smallest members, so too does human society's flourishing depend on how we care for our most vulnerable members. The gospel message repeatedly emphasizes this truth, that God's reign is characterized by justice for the oppressed, care for the marginalized, and the lifting up of those who have been pushed down. When we observe nature closely, we begin to recognize patterns that challenge our individualistic thinking. A tree standing alone may grow tall, but it remains vulnerable to winds and storms. Trees in community, however, support each other through their interconnected root systems, sharing resources and information in ways that science is only beginning to understand. This natural wisdom invites reflection on how human communities might better support their vulnerable members, sharing resources and creating systems of mutual care that reflect God's justice. The promise in Matthew 6:33, that all things will be added when we seek first God's reign and justice, takes on new meaning when viewed through this lens of ecological interconnection. It suggests that true abundance emerges not from individual accumulation, but from fostering systems of mutual flourishing. When society ensures that its most vulnerable members have access to what they need to thrive, the entire community benefits. This understanding calls for a shift in perspective about working for justice. Rather than seeing it as an optional addition to spiritual life, it becomes central to participating in God's reign. Every action taken to advocate for those who are marginalized, every effort to create more equitable systems, contributes to the health of the whole community, just as every healthy organism in a forest contributes to the ecosystem's resilience. In contemplating these connections, one might consider how to become more attuned to the web of relationships that sustain life, both in natural ecosystems and human communities. This awareness can guide actions toward greater justice and compassion. It might lead to questions about how to advocate more effectively for those whose voices often go unheard, recognizing that their well-being is inextricably linked to the flourishing of all. Let us pray. Divine Creator, who weaves the web of life with infinite wisdom and care, open our eyes to the intricate connections that bind all creation together. Help us to see how our actions ripple through the community of life, affecting all our relations. Inspire us to seek your justice with courage and persistence, knowing that as we work for the flourishing of the most vulnerable, we contribute to the health of the whole. Guide us in creating systems of mutual care and support that reflect your reign of justice and love. May our lives become channels of your abundance, flowing freely for the benefit of all creation. Amen.